Hello everyone! Today we're going to be making this Scoodie, or you may call it a baggy balaclava. You can see the yarn I'm using here. It is an 8-ply yarn and it is acrylic. The thicker your yarn is, the thicker the Scoodie is going to be. This yarn calls for a 4mm crochet hook, but I'm going to be using a 5mm. The bigger your hook is, the more flexible your project is gonna be. So if you want, you can size up as well. Otherwise, whatever your yarn calls for works too. For me, that's 4mm, but like I said, I'm gonna size up to 5mm. First, I'm gonna make a 13-inch chain, and then if you fold it in half, 15 inches. This is the length of the Scoodie this way. If you want your Scoodie to be longer here, then you can chain a little bit more. So make a slip knot. And begin your chain. You're going to yarn over and pull it through the loop on the hook. Chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm just going to continue chaining until it reaches about 30 inches. Okay, so now my chain is about 30 inches. Remember to measure your chain when it's relaxed like this, not when it's stretched. So with this yarn, I did 116 chains to reach 30 inches. So after that, I'm going to chain one more. And then I'm going to find the second chain from the hook. That's the first one, that's the second one. I'm going to work in the back loop of the chain. So I'm going to turn my chain to the back and find the back loop of the second chain. Second chain, back loop. So I'm going to insert my hook in the back loop and yarn over, pull it through. Then yarn over, pull through 2. And then you see we have 2 vertical loops here. I'm going to insert my hook back in the left vertical loop. And then I'm going to yarn over again, pull it through the first loop. And then yarn over, pull through 2. So that stitch would be the first double crochet. It's not really a double crochet, but it is a substitute for it. I'm going to place a stitch marker in the top 2 loops just to mark the stitch. And then from the next stitch, we're going to work normal double crochets. So to work a double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop of the next stitch, and then yarn over, pull it through. Then you would yarn over, pull through 2, the first 2, yarn over again and pull through the rest. So that's a double crochet. And then for the rest of the chain, you're just going to do the same. Work 1 double crochet in the back loop of each chain. So yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop of the next stitch, and then pull yarn through. And then you're going to yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, insert hook, pull yarn through, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll see you at the end of the chain. So continue working double crochets until you reach the end of the chain. Now I have 2 chains left. I'm going to work 1 double crochet in each of them. Okay, so that's row 1. Row 2 is the repeat row. For row 2, we're going to turn our work. In the very first stitch, I'm going to work this special double crochet. So only the first one is different. I'm going to insert my hook in the first stitch in the back loop only. So insert my hook and pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 vertical loops, insert your hook back in the left one, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Again, I'm going to mark this stitch. These are the top 2 loops. From the next stitch, I can just work normal double crochets, but we're going to work each of them in the back loop only. So yarn over, insert your hook in the back loop only, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you're just going to continue doing this to finish row 2. So this marked stitch, if you pull it like this, you can see that should be our last stitch. So you're going to work your very last double crochet here. And then that's it. That's row 2. And like I said before, we're just going to repeat row 2. So turn your work again. Work your first special double crochet in the back loop. If you don't remember how to do it, you can go back to the beginning of row 2. And then from the next stitch, we can begin working the normal double crochet, 1 in each stitch, all in the back loop. And remember to always mark the very first stitch of each row, that special double crochet. Otherwise, when you work your way back, you might not be able to find it. So I'm just going to keep repeating row 2 and work back and forth like this. So I worked back and forth, and now I have 18 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 4, 6, 8. And then I'm going to fold the rectangle in half, like this. I'm going to use row 1 as front and row 18 as back. So that means I need to just seam these edges together all the way to the end. And I want this side to be the right side. That's the wrong side, and that's the right. So I'll need to seam the edges, but I need to do it from the wrong side. So I'm gonna flip it. And now with the wrong side facing, I can sew these together. You can use your needle, but I'm gonna use my hook. So I'm gonna insert in the very first stitch. This stitch of yours should be marked. And then I pick up this loop. Pull it through and chain 1. And then from the next stitch, we're just gonna go in the stitches on both edges. So next stitch, both loops. And next stitch on the other side, the corresponding stitch. Insert hook, yarn over, pull through all the loops to make a slip stitch. And then you just continue doing that. So you're gonna do this all the way to the end. I have 6 stitches left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then chain 1 and cut the yarn. So now this is like a hood, like this. So you're gonna put it on again and mark how big you want the opening to be. And then we're gonna seam the front edges as well. Okay, so I've tried it on and I decided to join the first 12 stitches together. So I'm gonna attach this yarn here, and I'm gonna use the same method to join the first 12 stitches. So you make a slip knot, and then insert in the very first stitch. The stitches are actually upside down, but you can still see it. So insert in the first stitch here, and then attach them together. So that's the first stitch. You join the second one, third, so this is number 12. Slip stitch, but don't cut your yarn yet. Now I'm going to flip it inside out because we're going to work around the front edge from the right side. So you turn it inside out like this, and then you put the loop back on your hook, and then we're going to crochet in the round around the front edge. So in the very next stitch, I'm going to work my special double crochet. And then from the next stitch, work 1 double crochet in each stitch. And when you insert your hook, be sure to insert in both loops. I'm going to mark this very first stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and work around this edge. I'll see you at the end of the round. So this is the very last stitch. I'm going to work 1 double crochet in this stitch. Now if I slip stitch in the very first stitch, it's going to leave a big hole here. So I'm just going to work 1 more double crochet in the very next stitch. And now I can slip stitch in the first stitch, which is marked. So insert your hook and make a slip stitch. So we just finished the first round along the front edge. To begin the next round, I'm gonna chain 1, and in this very same stitch that I'm sitting on, I'm gonna make the special double crochet. And then from the next stitch, 1 double crochet in each stitch in both loops. So I'm just gonna do 2 rounds here. This is the last stitch. And then I'm gonna slip stitch in the very first stitch. Chain 1 and cut. And then you're just gonna weave in the ends. Use your yarn needle. If you want the front to be baggy and loose, you can leave it like this. But if you want it to be a bit tighter, you can make a drawstring. So you're gonna make a slip knot and make a chain that is as long as you want it to be. So I think 150, 200 should be enough. But once you got your chain, you're just gonna use a yarn needle. You're gonna go through the stitches like this. And you're gonna pull your drawstring through like that.